Bill Bradley. I'm an extreme endurance athlete and motivational speaker. The topic of today's video is beating the fear of falling. I'm getting ready to make my third attempt at Mount Denali in Alaska. 20,000 feet high, one of the 7 summits, the world's coldest mountain. And this will be my third attempt at it. The first attempt was a big setback on my brain. I didn't know how big, but I know it now, because when I got up, I would climb the mountain and I started getting sick. And by the time I was into it, almost 2 weeks, about 12 days or so, I had full-blown bronchitis up on that mountain. Super sick, super weak. And I ended up having to come down. And it normally would take from that high up where I was at 14,000 feet, it would take 1 day to get to where the base camp is, to hike down off the mountain. But because I was so sick and so weak, it took me 2 days to get down there. And the whole way down, I pretty much fell. I fell in some hairy spots, like steep spots. And and I'm doing the self-arrest with the ice axe. A lot of good practice, but I'll tell you what, I didn't realize how much that did to my subconscious mind. It freaked it out. So I went up last year, and that's when I realized it. I did some practice climbs, and I went up there, and I knew my brain wasn't right, man. It's just like freaking out like crazy, So this year, I knew I had to work on it, because you can't be up there. You can't have the fear come up. It just drains your energy. If you get afraid and you're up on that mountain and you tense up, they call it gripping. So if you're up there and you're freaking gripping, you're not going to make it, man. It's not a good idea. You just blow through energy like crazy. And I just basically ran out of steam last year. I don't think I was also more in swimming fitness than I was mountain climbing, but it sure didn't help that I was doing so much gripping up there. So this year, I made up my mind. I trained nonstop, just strictly pretty much for mountain climbing and running, which are, I think they fit each other well on the training. And I worked my ass off on my brain. So one thing I worked with a hypnotist to get in there and trying to bring down this anxiety of this falling thing. And because I told her, I said, yeah, I think I have this fear of heights. She says, no, you don't, Bill. You have a fear of falling. I go, there's a difference? But anyway, so when we get in the steep spots, so I did some visualization with her where I got in the steep spots and I felt myself being calm and working on it. And then I knew I needed to get out too, so I'm climbing like crazy. I went down, I did, a couple volcanoes down in Mexico. I went up to Mount Rainier and climbed. I got 2 Shasta climbs coming up. And then I'm heading up there because you got to get out there and get in it to face that fear. The reason I know I need to get in it, because I had a fear of rough water and swimming. The first time I swam the English Channel, one of my crew chief told me there was nothing but fear in your eyes for 4 straight hours, because it was like big giant whitecaps. It was really rough even for the English Channel, and it freaked me out. The last time, but you know what? I just kept jumping in the rough water, jumping in the rough water, jumping in the rough water, going out past the Golden Gate in the really rough water where it goes up and down and you can't even see the boat, and I freaking got used to it. The last time I swam the channel, I didn't quite make it. I swam 20 miles though, and I got separated by the boat by a storm, and my friend who was on the boat, she told me, Bill, you were calm the whole time. I said, wow, that's a big improvement over having fear in my eyes for 4 straight hours. I was calm for 12 hours. So that was my goal. So I figured okay, I got to do that with this mountain climbing. Same thing. I got to just keep getting up. And so the thing that I did recently, so I have 2 more Shasta climbs coming up, and I'm working with the hypnotist, was like once every 2 weeks. If I really need it, I do it once a week. I don't care. I keep working on my brain, trying to calm it down. But I went over to the climbing gym because my friend Shane told me that what he did was he went to the climbing gym and he kept climbing up, and you just let go. You just fall backwards and you trust, because you got this self-belay that goes up to the roof. And you're trusting it, but there's a second or so where you're kind of weightless and you get that fall feeling. And so I went up there the other day and I spent an hour just going up and down. I probably went up like maybe 5, 6 times up to the top of this 30-foot and then just, woo, let go. And the first time it was kind of, but my buddy said, yeah, the first time freaked him out really bad. He said he screamed like really loud. And so I like knew not to scream. I didn't want to freak everybody out in the gym, so I bit my tongue. And I didn't scream, but then every time I went up, I got a little less anxious, little less anxious, little less anxious. And so I'm heading up right now. I'm getting ready to head up to Shasta, and there's going to be some steep parts on this. We're taking Casavall Ridge, which definitely has some steep exposed parts. So I'm just curious how I'm going to do, but I think I got this fear of falling on the run, just like I did the fear of rough ocean water. Anyway, so just attack your fears. You just got to go after them, and you can beat the fear of falling. You can beat the fear of anything if you just keep going after it. You can't give into it and not go after it. You have to go after it, attack it from every angle you can. And I will keep you informed, but I got a feeling I got this on the run. So anyway, I'm going to be calm as a cucumber. That'll be my goal. Anyway, if you got any questions for me, you can email me at epicbillbradley@gmail.com. Thank you very much.